All right, it's 4:30, 11 days of yoga. Welcome, love, and light. We've been doing this series every single day up until May 23rd, which is the day that I launched my podcast, Lessons from the Mat, which is what that link is down there. I already went ahead and uploaded the podcast for the day, so you can go and check that out. And we're doing this because bad yoga is going around. So we're gonna unlearn bad yoga because I'm really passionate about self-mastery, and yoga is just a tool for self-mastery. So day one, we learned what is yoga. We also learned breathing techniques on day two. Yesterday we did gentle movements. It was our first physical practice where we used gentle movements to explore our bodies. And today, along with unlearning that bad yoga, our structure is we unlearn a thought, we learn a new thought, and try to change our understanding of yoga. And then we close with a lesson from the mat. So today is day 4. It is our first flow. We're going to do a vinyasa sequence. Today, I'm not even going to use terms for poses and things like that. That's not the point. We're just going to get with the flow and use the techniques that we learned from gentle movement, or the thought process that we use from gentle movement, into today's flow. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Even though the live videos allow you to go for like an hour, I think these days, you can only save your IGTV videos if they're like under 15 minutes long. So I want to give you the full benefit of the practice and also save it on the platform that you'll be able to go and access it later. So we are going to get right in. Like I said on some of the other classes, yoga is not about the poses, it's not about the sexy sports bras and leggings and all that sort of stuff. Yoga is a system to be able to master yourself. So what we're finding is you're going into a beginner yoga class and it seems too hard. Terminology is being used, the instructors are going too fast, like whatever the case is, people are not enthralled after one class of yoga and move on to something else. So understanding that, we're building off of yesterday, gentle movements, and we're going to take the same ideology that we had about just moving, just feeling out the body into today's vinyasa practice. So if you've never done a vinyasa practice, I'm going to demonstrate it first, and then we're going to do it together very slowly with slow movements. Also, music-wise, I love to play frequencies throughout my day. This one is, I think, at 528 hertz, but it's a frequency for healing and self-love, so we're going to have that playing in the background. But this is the basis of a vinyasa flow. Once again, I'm just showing this. We're not going to go this fast in the practice. So we're going to use those same concepts of gentle movements. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to do a lot of breathing, a lot of feeling into every, I don't want to say feeling into every pose. We're going to feel into the process of going from one posture to the next posture. So start at the top of your mat. Really ground down in your feet. Feel the balls of your feet and the heels of your feet evenly placed on the floor. And just take a second here to breathe and feel how that feels. You can roll your shoulders back if you're feeling a little hunch in your back, and really stand up straight and just feel how that alignment of your tailbone all the way up through your spine to your head feels. And on the first inhale, we're going to inhale and slowly bring our arms up and just see how that feels. Deep inhale. And allow the shoulders to be relaxed. You can move around just a little bit just to feel out the space if you've never done yoga before. And on the exhale, we're going to put our hands together and come down as far as you can. If this is as far as you can go, completely fine. If you can go further, go as far as you can until your hands hang down and your head hangs down. To check your body to make sure that you're not stiff, you can just swivel your head left to right and front to back. And you might feel a pull in your hamstrings, the back of your legs, maybe even in your lower back. But just gentle motion. We're just allowing gravity to do all the work. And so from here, we're going to come up until our back is flat. You can have your hands down by your shins if you're flexible, or tuck your elbows in and have them on your thighs. Feel a flat back. So from your tail all the way up to the top of your head, it should feel like there's a rod or something, or like you can put a plank of wood directly on your back. And just feel how that feels. Maybe take a breath here. Very gentle motion. And from here, we're going to go back down. Just collapse back down. Allow gravity to do the work for you. Bend your knees a whole lot. And then we're going to plant our hands on the ground and gently walk our feet back to what would be called a push-up position. We're not going to stay here long. We're just feeling out the body. Hands wide. From here, you're going to lower yourself down. Start with your knees if you want to today. This doesn't have to be, you don't have to power yourself down, but put your knees on the ground first. And then bend your elbows. And unflip your toes to the tops of your feet are on the ground. Your hands are right by your chest, and your elbows are pulled back. And just see how that feels. Take a couple of breaths here. You can put your forehead on the ground. I just have my head up so I can talk to you a little bit better. And from here, we're going to push up into Cobra. So you're going to push off your hands and also think about driving your hips into the floor. If you can, however far up you can go, you're just exploring. See how far you can go up. No tension. Maybe wiggle your hips out a little bit. There's going to be a lot of weight in your palms and also in your hips. Your hips are really nice and heavy. Look up if you have that capability. And from here, you can either go into tabletop, as if you would be doing cat-cow, or you can flip the toes and go straight into down. No, actually, I'm sorry, we're not using poses today. You're going to lift your hips up to the sky, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up until you can't anymore. And just see how that feels. If being still is not comfortable, you can pedal the feet out. Bend your left knee, then your right knee, back and forth. You're just feeling how your body feels. Do you feel tension in your back? Are your hands slipping forward, maybe because they're a little bit sweaty? How does that feel? Do you feel a stretch in the back of your legs? From here, we're going to walk our feet slowly, slowly up between our hands. If you need to bend your knees, that is completely fine. And we're going to go back into that hungover position. Let your head go left and right again, just to make sure you're loose, and then nod forward and back. And from here, we're going to bend the knees, bend, and allow our chest to come up and stand all the way up. Arms come overhead. And we meet our hands back to the chest in like a prayer position. So let that drop, shake it out. Nobody's on the video right now, so I would ask, how do you feel? And all that sort of stuff. But that is a very gentle vinyasa practice. Let's do that 2 more times through using very gentle motions, and then that will be it for the day. Once again, all of these days we are just building on what we did before. So yesterday was gentle movements. We're using the same understanding of being gentle to your body to learn this flow. So ground your feet down, arms up over your head. And then slowly come down and let the top of your body hang. From here, you're going to flatten out your back Allow your hands to come to your knees or your thighs. You may feel a stretch in your calf muscles. And we're going to place our hands back down on the ground. And just walk, gently, gently, gently step back to a push-up position. And then put your knees on the ground to come down, all the way down to the floor. From here, we're going to use our hands and driving our hips into the floor to push up. If you can only push up here, that's fine. If you want to extend your arms, maybe look back, that's cool too. And then we're going to move our bodies into, or bring our knees in line with our hands, curl our toes under, and push our hips all the way up as far as we can go. And we're going to pedal the feet out, bend your left knee, bend your right knee, bend your left knee again. Once done with that, walk the toes up to the hands. Slowly, slowly, at your own pace, bend the knees if need be. And we're going to stand all the way up. Hands come overhead, hands touch, and then back to the heart space. One more time, hands down, all the way up. Bend forward, let the top of your body hang. Create a flat back with your hands on your thighs. And then hang once more. Place your palms on the ground and then slowly walk back to a push-up position. As soon as you get there, let your knees down, let your body down, and place the tops of your feet on the ground. Use your hands and your hips to push up just a little bit more if you can. And then from here, we're going to push up and bring our knees directly behind our hands. Curl our toes under and push, 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 push up until your hips are all the way up. Move the knees back and forth, back and forth. This is called pedaling out the feet. And slowly walk your feet up to your hands. And you're going to stand up slowly, bent knees. Hands come above the head and hands back to the heart space. I'm going to angle this down so we can go into our reading. Sorry, y'all. But that is it. That is what's considered a vinyasa flow. Building on yesterday's very, very gentle movements. We didn't even go into poses today, or we did poses, just didn't use the terminology because I didn't want to freak anybody out, especially if you weren't watching the video the whole time. I didn't want you to get confused by thinking like, oh, what's cat pose, what's cow pose, what's downward dog, what's up dog, what's cobra, what's chaturanga. Just hands over your head, touch your feet, put your butt in the air, walk your hands to your feet. Very, very basic stuff. So I do have our lesson from the mat today is already up on the Anchor app. That link is already in my bio. And today's reading is about setting your intention on the mat. I am a firm believer in work smarter, not harder. Doing the thing to the best of your ability using all the resources you have to get them done. However, sometimes, most oftentimes, doing things at this pace at which they are meant to be done is the most successful. So even if all the things on your to-do list today do not get done, that does not mean you were less of a person. Whatever your intention is for the day, if you don't meet your intention and you do get caught up with the day and get caught up with the hustle and bustle, it's okay. Come back to your intention. You always have the space to come back to your attention. And if you completely forget your intention by the end of the day, so be it. Guess what? Go to sleep, chill out. Tomorrow is a brand new day to start a whole new intention and pick back up where you left off. Thank you for joining me for day 4 of 11 days of yoga. Tomorrow is day 5. That is more flow. Today was first flow, tomorrow is more flow. So that sequence that we just did, we're gonna add on a little bit. After we do butt in the air, after we do down dog, we're going to add what is called warrior 2. And we're gonna add warrior 2 and gentle warrior. Which is basically a lunge position with our hands out. Same thing, very gentle progression to getting there, and we're just gonna see how our body feels, and we're gonna do it on the other side. That's the only thing that we're adding for tomorrow, more flow. Love and light, thank you for joining. Oh, of course, this video is gonna be up on IGTV Live, so you can practice whenever you want or send it to a friend. Love and light.